Next on Worcester News tonight, repairs are underway at Union Station, but the overall cost is increasing due to a recent discovery. Plus, the Red Sox taking a big win in Houston last night as they prepare to head to the World Series. How Central Massachusetts is reacting. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Brittany Schaefer. Union Station is under repair and the costs are increasing. The Worcester Redevelopment Authority says asbestos and water damage was found. And while construction is underway, some local businesses are already looking to call the transportation hub home. Our Chandler Walsh joins us live now with the details. Chandler?
Brittany, the city says repairs to Union Station's exterior are being done to correct mistakes. Those come from renovations made 19 years ago. Repairs continue on Union Station, the cost increasing by $1.5 million. The Worcester Redevelopment Authority approved the repair costs last week and say they're needed to address recent discoveries of asbestos and water damage. It comes as businesses express interest in locating to the Washington Square property.
It provides an opportunity for retail businesses to not only serve the commuters coming in and out of Union Station, but the housing and the businesses that are growing in and around the station.
The Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce says Union Station is successful as a transportation hub, but now needs to build on its success by filling retail and office space. President and CEO Tim Murray says there's been more interest since the arrival of AAA baseball.
The presence of Polar Park, that's going to add 70 games in the downtown core, literally blocks away from Union Station.
One interested business is Greater Good Brew Company, which operates a 3,000 square foot taproom on Millbrook Street. Founder and president Paul Wengender says they'd like to open a nano brewery in Union Station for their second brand with lower alcohol beer called Soul Purpose.
Where people can walk up, get fresh beer, maybe some live entertainment. And so that mesh point for the city, from downtown to Kelly Square and everything in between, the Woo Sox coming into town. We feel like it's an ideal spot.
Wengender says they were interested in the location years ago, but the Polar Park project in the Canal District makes it an even more ideal spot.
I just think it's awesome that we're all coming together and there's going to be more of a destination for Worcester. We'd like to be a part of it.
The Worcester Redevelopment Authority says 4 parties are interested in Union Station. 3 have submitted letters and the other is still confidential. As for the station's repairs, 80% of the costs will be covered by the Federal Transit Administration. Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
The remains of a Worcester sailor who died during World War II have been identified. He is believed to be the first city man killed in the war. Navy Buglemaster 2nd Class Lionel Lescall died during the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. The 28-year-old was aboard the USS Oklahoma. The ship was hit by multiple torpedoes and capsized, killing 429 sailors, including Worcester's Lescall. The remains of hundreds of sailors were then buried in the National Memorial Cemetery in Hawaii. Using modern DNA analysis, the Defense POWMIA accounting agency was able to identify the remains. Worcester police are asking for your help identifying 2 suspects involved in an armed robbery. The incident happened on Sunday at the Walgreens on Park Avenue. Police say one suspect pulled a gun on a pharmacist and demanded prescription drugs. The 2 suspects fled with an unknown amount of pills. Police say they were driving a small dark-colored SUV or crossover vehicle. No injuries were reported. Anyone with any information is asked to call or send an anonymous text to Worcester Police. A traffic stop in Sturbridge leads to the arrest of 3 people for trafficking heroin. The vehicle was pulled over Thursday on Route 84. The trooper found 2.5 kilograms of a substance believed to be heroin and more than $800. 3 people were arrested from Lynn. The Boston Red Sox clinching the ALCS Thursday night against the Houston Astros in Game 5. The team is now heading to the World Series for the first time since 2013. Fans in Central Massachusetts celebrating Friday by adding some clothing to their wardrobe. Our Olivia Lemon has the details. Olivia?
Yeah, Brittany, we could learn tonight whether the Sox will face the Brewers or the Dodgers in the World Series. In the meantime, there's a big rush for Red Sox gear to support the AL East champs. Red Sox fans started stocking up on American League Championship gear hours after Boston beat the Houston Astros to clinch the pennant.
I need to support my team and just excited to have another championship T-shirt. Pretty excited to see what the next series brings.
It's been 5 years since the Red Sox won the World Series, but after last night's win, fans are hoping this will change. Despite winning 108 regular season games, many thought the Red Sox were underdogs against the defending champion Astros. Now fans are happy and a little surprised to see the team clinch it in 5 games.
I was happy they did it last night. I didn't really want to see them come back home for the 2 games because the pitching staff is really worn out.
I'm glad David Price had a good game last night too, because everyone doubted him, but he came out pretty strong.
At Dick's Sporting Goods in Worcester, dozens were shopping for both themselves and loved ones.
I want to represent. Got a few things for my boyfriend, my dad, me. Got a Bogart shirt.
If you get it now, you can wear it all longer, you know.
And many have their predictions on how the Sox will do in the Fall Classic.
Well, of course, I'm rooting for the Red Sox. I would say they could do it in 5 again.
I think all year they kind of proved themselves, so I'm really excited to see what they have to offer and hope we bring it home.
Now, if you're hoping for a seat at the World Series, it could cost you a pretty penny, but of course, stick to the online trusted ticket sellers so you don't fall for any scams. Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
The Worcester Housing Authority will soon be expanding its reach and lending a hand to 2 central Massachusetts communities. With more than 200 employees and 3,000 housing units, Worcester Housing Authority is the 2nd largest in New England. Holden's Housing Authority is signing a 5-year contract with the WWII to manage their operation. Holden only has 3 employees, and their executive director is retiring at the end of the month.
Really having a challenge in finding replacements for their executive directors because a lot of those positions are part-time positions, and so it's been a real challenge to find qualified folks that can step right in and continue to lead their agencies.
Worcester will also provide management consulting for the Leominster Housing Authority while they search for a new executive director. Holden's contract will begin November 1st. A member of the Worcester County Sheriff's Department is in Florida tonight to run one of the toughest races a body can endure. But the pain is nothing compared to the reason why he's competing. Karen Hensel has the story.
It's really a passion of mine being in the field of law enforcement.
For Brian B.J. Williams, running is one way he deals with the stress of his job as a corrections officer for the Worcester County Sheriff's Department.
It's really having outlets, and for me, my outlet to not let any of the stress or what goes on with the job. Mine to me is getting out, being active, running, biking, swimming.
He's competed in 8 marathons. But then that stress of the job hit close to home when Auburn police officer Ron Tarantino Jr. was shot and killed during a traffic stop in 2016.
Officer Tarantino and his family are neighbors with my wife and I in Leicester, so we really saw firsthand of the impact that it has on a community, on a family, on a department. It's very eye-opening to see.
Saturday, he will compete in the Great Floridian, a 140.6-mile Ironman triathlon.
It's the hardest one-day, single-day event that you can physically put the body through.
And that's the point. He'll wear this custom-made jersey, the front honoring the Ron Tarantino Jr. Charitable Foundation, the back honoring all 129 law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty just last year.
It will be a way of showing the fallen families that these officers aren't forgotten.
When he runs the 26.2-mile portion of the race, he'll carry high this thin blue line flag. He'll present the flag at the finish line to the family of Florida officer Matthew Baxter, one of the names on the back of his jersey, also among those killed last year. And when he struggles in the competition,
it's not the pain that I'm going through, it's what those families, what those departments, the struggle that they went through. I will use that as when it gets hard going up a hill or when I get fatigued being on the bike for over 6 hours. I'll think of more struggles that other officers have gone through.
And that was Karen Hensel reporting. A historic landmark in Worcester is set to welcome its 10,000th visitor this weekend. Park Spirit opened Bancroft Tower back in 2014 so people could experience the view from one of Worcester's highest peaks. The castle was built in 1900 in honor of George Bancroft, a diplomat and statesman who founded the Naval Academy. The tower is open to the public on Sundays in October, and this weekend they'll be lighting their 2 fireplaces.
There's nothing like it in the world, and it's, you know, everybody in Worcester should have a chance to get up here and just see how beautiful Worcester is from this vantage point, and that's what it was intended for.
With things like Notre Dame Church coming down, we need to make sure that things like this stay around, especially because it's the last of what was formerly 3 towers in Worcester Park. So for us to be here and welcome 10,000 into this structure after being closed for 20 years, it means so much to us, and I think to the city of Worcester.
The events are free, but to help with upkeep and liability insurance costs, Park Spirit suggests a $1 donation. Dairy Queen is set to open its first location in the city next year. The foundation is in place at 725 Grafton Street as construction begins. The 2,800 square foot restaurant will feature a full menu with an outdoor patio and drive-through. The restaurant is scheduled to open in February. MegaMillion sets a record Friday for the largest jackpot in the game's history. Tonight, $1 billion is up for grabs. The cash option for the jackpot winner is now more than $565 million. The pot has been growing since July. Businesses across the city were busy with people looking to become a winner Friday. Some buying tickets this afternoon say you can't pass up the opportunity of winning such a huge amount of money.
I play every once in a while. I don't play every day. I don't. But this is so big. Why not?
I usually wait till it's up a little bit. I don't play every week. But when it's this high, you got to get a ticket.
Odds of winning the pot are 1 in 302 million. Tonight's drawing will take place at 11 p.m.